Hey guys, Sarah here, and a wee bit of a different one. I thought it's been a couple of years since I kind of did a tour of our land type video, show you what my extensive to-do list is. It's first thing in the morning. I've actually just dropped my kids off to school, so I'll show you what's going on around the place. There's our moo cows. They're actually not our cows as such. We're leasing some of our paddocks out to some people who needed grazing, so that's all good. We're hoping maybe in another year, another 6 months to a year, I think hopefully we'll be able to afford our own cows. Fingers crossed. Get a couple of beefies, maybe a milking cow, get a wee milking shed set up. That's the plan. Here's our escapee idiots. This is Odin and Loki. We've got 16 chickens. They're all individually named. Don't ask me which one this is. I don't think it's Sherbet. It's another one that looks like Sherbet, though. It might be Blizzard. The kids have named them, so, you know, but they do escape, and we need to address that. I'll show you why. Fruit trees, that's, you know, we got some blossoms just starting on that one. That one's blossoming beautifully. So, you know, they're all looking good. We desperately need to trim them, especially that one there. That's a nectarine. I actually did go on a tree trimming course a wee while back, and my main takeaway message from that, and this is the reason I probably will never do a tutorial on how to trim your fruit trees, was that it's better to do a bad job of trimming your fruit trees than to not trim them at all. Yeah, I'm not the best at that, but I have trimmed our apple trees. I'll show you them. I actually did not trim these ones last year, and earlier this year, and I should have done. I've kind of missed the boat now. With the stone fruit, you kind of want to do it just after they've finished fruiting is the ideal time, especially where we are, because we still get frosts, and frosts can do real damage when you've trimmed a whole heap. So yeah, we got this one's a green gauge. A couple of green gauges there. We got a couple of apricots. They do not produce as prolifically as I'd like, but I think the trimming is down to that. Here's the pack of plonkers who keep escaping. So we've got all this chicken wire around here, but there's little bits down there where they kind of dig holes, or they make holes through it. So we really just need to redo some of this chicken wire so they'd stop escaping. So yes, Cluckingham Palace. See, they've got this big field. They've got bushes. They've got, you know, living in the lap of luxury, and they still want to escape. Why am I only counting 15? Someone run off. Here's Muddle. He's my main man. He's gorgeous. So anyway, yeah, we're having a problem with red mites at the moment, so I've been coming in here and spraying the coop each day with my homemade formula, which I've done a video on that. But yeah, also just giving them a bit of dog roll for a bit of protein. Yeah, so I'm hoping they'll come right. So it affects the egg laying. We're getting a grand total of 1 egg a day from, meant to have 16, I'm only counting 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Somebody's missing 1 egg. One of you deserves a medal. Next to the chickens there, we've actually got this place set up for pigs. Clint made a mould for a trough, and I did the concreting and stuff for it, and we poured the concrete in, so we've actually made a wee concrete trough. We're learning lessons from the last time we had pigs. That's that we need more concrete to keep some areas semi-clean, and everything needs to be concrete. We can't have plastic troughs because they destroy them. So I've actually concreted all around here. We've got a wee drinking thing here for them, so they chew on that and water comes out. And I've actually got this sloped down and with a bit of a dip here, so that it actually creates a wallow for them. So instead of just wasting all the water that they dribble, it actually goes down there and makes a bit of a wallow for them. So this will be a pretty luxurious pig palace. That's the wee house that we made for them. So yeah, obviously we haven't got piggies again yet. We're still devising a cheap way of feeding them. Got an apple tree over there. We've actually got some piping still set up there from last year because it was some of the branches start sagging really badly because it fruits quite prolifically, that tree. I've just given it a trim, but yeah, so yeah, so it needed a bit of help staying upright last year. So, but hopefully that'll take off. There'll be a bit of shade for the piggies too. We have had pigs here before, but they were kind of testers, you know. We just had a couple of them and they were great fun before we ate them. We have been told by people, you know, you don't need that much space for pigs. Any animals I've got, I like to treat them properly. That is a really noisy chicken. That's Cashew making that noise, by the way. But yeah, I always like to treat them nice. I like to give them a good life before we potentially eat them. So it's alright, we're not eating you guys. As long as you keep laying eggs, get on with it. Chickens have all just followed me out here. This is how you get them back in. Just throw some food in. And they're in. Okay. Hey, hey. Odin, get in there. Odin and Loki, these two are the problem ones. Seriously. They're not a money saver. If you think you're going to get chickens and get free eggs or cheap eggs, forget that. They go broody, they go off the lay, yeah, but they're awesome fun. I love having them. So we set up a official space to put builder's mix, because as you've gathered, I do concreting and stuff. But yeah, so it just keeps that place a bit tidier than keeping it on the grass. So it's an official place for me to do concreting and stuff. Mum's workshop. I won't show you what's going on in there because there's not a lot. I have made pavers in the past, but I'm still sort of perfecting the technique. I made those pavers. But yeah, I mostly just keep my beekeeping gear in there. So, got a couple of hazelnut trees. They're not doing a lot at the moment, but we've got a bit of budding going on. And we've got 5 more hazelnut trees along here. They're still just little. But yeah, that one's starting to get some leaves on it now. Yay! We haven't really had a lot of actual nuts off them, but they're still pretty young, so I'm going to have to look into trimming these or how to do it, that sort of thing. Very much learn as we go, people. We dive in and then we learn about it. So then along the line of our boundary here, we've got a whole heap of feijoas. These do very nicely. Of course, there's nothing on there at the moment, wrong time of year, but feijoas are great because they produce like just after all the stone fruit finishes. So, you know, you get the stone fruit and then the feijoas come in and the apples come in about the same time. But yeah, the bigger, more established ones. And then I need to take some of the grass away from around the base of some of these little ones. But yeah, these were previously little. They're coming up, they're doing good. I'm hoping they'll just bush out and be a hedgerow. We've got there's a right of way there. There's our neighbours just over there. So, other end of the boundary there, we've got some olive trees there. We did have a whole heap all down there planted. The previous lot just died off. I think they got a bit root bound before we got around to planting them out. So, again, lessons learnt. We had grand plans of pressing them and trying to make olive oil, but we'll see. You never know, could still happen. But those ones are doing good. We planted them nice and early. Do need to do a bit of weed whacking around them, but that's all good. Then over here is our raspberries. You can see by the devastation, I've been weeding them out and pruning them. So that's a big job. I know that we don't keep raspberries properly as such, and that you're meant to keep them in a nice thin line. I keep them more as a bush, and I'll show you why. Weeding through them is quite the ordeal. What we need to do is go through each and every strand. Just go like that. See how there's a bit of green there? That means it's still alive. Go to the next one, you know. If I do that, there's no green. You see it's looking a bit dead, so you just pull it straight out of the ground. But when you're doing it for each and every one of these, it takes a while. So I've made a start. I've done sort of a few meters. Still got all that to go. So that's a bit of a task. Got We did a video a while back on putting up the windbreak. We've actually got some netting that goes down over here. We're adjusting it a bit this year to go up a bit, so the plants can grow a bit taller, and also the kids have gotten a bit taller, so they don't want to be crawling right down collecting stuff anymore. Apple tree here that I've recently pruned, and a couple more there. Now we've got a bit of a empty spot next to our raspberries. That's some of the netting there that we've rolled back. We've actually got some black currants that we're going to try planting here, just see how they go. I'll show you where they're in our grow room at the moment, which I will show you. So another apple tree. This one produces brilliantly. Not sure what type of apples they are. They're slightly tangy-ish. Here's the beehive. It's still all wrapped up for winter at the moment because I'm pretty sure we're still going to get a snow this year. But you know, because the blossoms are out, the bees are starting to come out. So I gave them a bit of a feed. I gave them some sugar water the other day. But yeah, the bees are great time wasters. It's a bit chilly at the moment, so I won't open the hive up. But yeah, these bees here, they're the first bunch we've had that are really timid too. They're absolutely brilliant. You can just, I don't even need to put my beekeeping gear on. I do wear gloves because I do get a bit panicky, but I don't really need to be honest. They're not stingy bees at all. They're very friendly, happy buzz bees. Hoping to get some of our own honey this year. Fingers crossed. I'll be doing more bee videos as we progress through the season. But this paddock, you can't see them growing at the moment. We've got a ton of Jerusalem artichokes planted. We have tried growing potatoes in this paddock, not so successfully. We've also tried growing wheat in this paddock. The birds got to it before we could, so we learnt there if we're going to grow wheat, we somehow need to have a cover over it. So there's been a bit of trial and error with this paddock. The original plan was to just have it covered in apple trees and pear trees, which we may still do, but anyway, moving on. But yeah, that's all our property down to the corner and back. We've got 10 acres, so it's enough to keep the cows well fed. As I've mentioned in previous videos, we've got incredibly stony soil, and it's not that great for growing stuff in. I know I've had people say, oh, got 10 acres, so do a market garden, you know, sell your produce. It's not that simple. We can't just dig down and plant stuff here. That's why we've got raised veggie patches, where I'll show you them in a moment. We're sort of rejigging them at the moment, so we haven't got anything growing, hence why you haven't seen a veggie patch update from me in a while. So these I do need to sort out the we did skimp a bit of money and get the cheap plastic for surrounding them. I need to put that back up again, but we're slowly filling this up. Old tree branches, grass clippings, food scraps and dirt from the other veggie patches, because what we're actually doing, wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow, is we're getting dirt out of our old veggie patches, taking off the top layer, finding a whole heap of potatoes on the way, and yeah, just putting them in the new veggie patches, and then the tops of them we're just going to go and buy some soil, because as I say, our soil is rubbish, and just have nice soil at the tops of all four of the veggie patches. We've got the deli counter that Clint obtained for free that we use as a glass house, but nothing in there at the moment. It's all just been, I did mention in a previous video that we were potentially looking at moving, hence why I'd put a bit of a stall on all the veggie progress, but I think that's on the back burner for now. The maths didn't work out. We were gonna end up adding on to our mortgage too much, and I'm not a fan of that. Good old woodshed here, tractor, and behind the shed storage, as you do. You saw Mum's little workshop at the end of the driveway. This is Dad's workshop. I won't show you the inside of that shed, it's a disaster zone. However, got our grow room here. You'll have seen we did a video on setting that all up. Now before I show you what we've got growing here, for those, or lack thereof, for those who were following our hydroponics efforts and all that sort of stuff, yeah, we tried this Kratky hydroponic growing them in buckets type method. that just failed. Unless we were willing to full on become scientists, that wasn't going to work well. Now we've actually got, so then we tried big buckets full of dirt, still not so good. But we talked to the people at, if anyone's thinking of setting something like this up, I think it's called the Grow Room in Christchurch. The people there are amazing to talk to. We actually just went there a couple of days ago, and they gave us some great advice. So we're gonna remove these tomato plants, which are clearly dead. We're gonna have another go. It turns out we actually overdid it a bit with them. We overnourished them. So we need to neglect them a bit more, and we're pretty good at neglecting stuff. So that's what the tomatoes currently, they've been dead for a while, to be honest. I've been meaning to remove them. But when these were green and alive, it looked like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It looked so cool in here. We did get some tomatoes, but not enough to warrant the production we had set up. However, we've got a whole heap of pots that are doing well with these are actually elderberries, because we had an elderberry tree growing illegally, and it took me a while to realise what it was, but we had to cut it down for reasons of access. So we took some clippings from it, and they're doing good. And these are our black currants. So we've got the black currants growing and some elderberries growing. We've got them randomly dotted around so they're under these lights. But yeah, so at least they're doing well. But yeah, I need to remove all these tomatoes. We're going to look at starting again. I'll probably make that a separate video. But yeah, and I'll go through the process and what the people at the grow room taught me. Just out of interest, some of the black currants I also put outside, because I wasn't sure if it would be best to put them inside or outside. But both seem to be doing well. So, you know, so these are going to go way out yonder where those raspberries were. The plans eventually, we've got this concrete slab here, we're going to extend that. This is potentially going to be a wee milking shed type area. So yeah, we'll see. This one here is my arch nemesis. I'm not sure, I think he might think we're best mates, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting some meat off him. He runs at me every time I go into his paddock. Full on charges at me, and to be honest, I think he reckons I'm his best mate, but it's not so much the case, because I don't fancy being full on bowled over by a cow. I know how much damage friendly cows can do. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're in on this as well, buddy. So yeah, that's that. Him. And there's the sleep out for our daughter. We sort of got it set up so there's a water butt under there so that, you know, we can collect some rainwater, use it for veggies and stuff over summer. I'm not going to there's the decorative cat on the porch. That's Kreia. Yeah, I won't show you the inside of the sleep out because it's now a teenage den. But yeah, we did a whole video series on building this sleep out too. Yeah, that's pretty much us. That's now, you know, what I keep busy with when I'm not making my bread and making my fruit wines and doing all the other stuff that I do around the place, trying to keep the house semi-clean. You know, 3 kids, it's never clean. It's never clean, let's be honest. The washing is never done. But yeah, have fun out there, guys. We will catch you next week. Hit the like buttons on that side, hit the like button, leave me a comment, and I'll be back with more programming next week. See ya.